He sold our coffee table to pay his dad's debt. I didn't even know it was gone until I couldn't put my cup down. That's when I realized I was done. Let me tell you about Andrew. He was the guy you'd show off to your friends and say, "That's my man." Tall, hardworking, and charming. He had this calm confidence that made you believe he could solve all the world's problems before breakfast. With his corporate job paying $200K a month, Andrew was the poster boy for "I've got my life together." When I moved in, I was earning $50K, which wasn't much, but we managed just fine, or so I thought. You see, the real issue wasn't Andrew, it was his family. You know those families that see one person doing okay and immediately decide, "This is our lottery ticket"? That was Andrew's clan. His parents, Rebecca and John, were a teacher and a nurse. Sounds respectable, right? But their wallets? Completely sealed shut, like they'd taken a vow of poverty. For themselves, not for Andrew. Where their money went, only God knows, and even he might be confused. Then there were his sisters, Liz and Angela, both married, both employed. But apparently, Andrew was their superhero too. Liz's husband was the type to show off new rims on his car, but couldn't afford diapers. And Angela's favorite hobby seemed to be calling Andrew every week with a new crisis. "Andrew, the baby needs formula." "Andrew, the gas ran out." "Andrew, my husband bought rims." Andrew, Andrew, Andrew. I'm pretty sure they'd have called him if a light bulb went out in their houses. For them, Andrew wasn't just a brother. He was their personal ATM, available 24/7, no PIN required. Then came the start of the storm. When Andrew rolled up in his shiny Nissan Note and told me he was building a house in the village, I thought, wow, look at my man adulting like a pro. I was genuinely proud of him. Sure, he had a $25K monthly car payment and absolutely zero savings, but at least he was doing something, right? Progress is progress, even if it's running on fumes. Meanwhile, we lived in a one-bedroom apartment that cost $12K a month. Modest, but cozy. It was well furnished because I'm not about to sit on a plastic chair in my own house like I'm at a village wedding. Andrew covered most of the bills, and I pitched in to make it homey. I'm a firm believer that just because you're budgeting doesn't mean your curtains can't slay. Comfort is non-negotiable. But then, the bomb dropped. Andrew's contract ended. Just like that, the $200K per month man became jobless with a Nissan Note breathing down his neck and not a shilling in his savings account. Yep, Mr. Big Shot hadn't thought about what if. Apparently, he figured he'd just vibe through life and the universe would provide. Spoiler, it didn't. I had savings because, unlike Andrew, I believed in preparing for a rainy day. But seeing him struggle, it didn't sit right with me. So, like the supportive partner I was, I cleared the rest of his car loan. Big mistake. Huge. Because that's when the real drama began. Buckle up. This ride's about to get bumpy. If you enjoy this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Then came the family backlash. With no job, Andrew stopped sending money home, and that's when the fireworks started. His family? Oh, they were furious. One day, his father called, yelling so loudly I thought the phone might burst into flames. "You brainwashed him," he bellowed, like I was some kind of witch holding Andrew hostage. His sisters, Liz and Angela, took things to the next level. They started showing up unannounced, poking around the house like detectives. You'd think they were filming an episode of CSI, Nairobi Missing Money Edition. They'd examine every corner, every ATM, and then head back to the village to spread the latest gossip. "Where's the money, Andrew?" they demanded. To them, it was impossible for their beloved brother, their human ATM, to be broke. Obviously, the problem was me, the evil girlfriend squandering his imaginary millions. The new curtains I bought, evidence of my greed. "Look at her, she's living in luxury while you're suffering," they'd hiss. The coffee table I saved up for, proof that I was hiding his money. Never mind that Andrew was the one walking around in the same 2 shirts because he couldn't afford new ones. Andrew, bless him, tried to defend me. "She's the one keeping us afloat," he told them. "I've got nothing left." But did they care? Of course not. They just doubled down, piling on the guilt and turning the screws tighter. It was like they couldn't fathom a world where Andrew didn't exist to solve their problems. And me, I was their convenience scapegoat. Then came the big downfall. Andrew cracked under the pressure like a cheap plastic chair at a family reunion. His family guilted him into taking loans for them, of course. And Andrew? He caved. He borrowed from Shylocks, neighbors, friends, pretty much anyone with a pulse, all to send money home to the same people who couldn't be bothered to use their own paychecks. And then came the car. Oh, the beloved Nissan Note. He sold it, and guess where the money went? Yep, straight into paying off debts he had no business taking on in the first place. It was like watching someone bail out a sinking ship with a sieve. But the final straw? That one deserves a drum roll. I came home one evening ready to kick back after a long day, and something felt off. The dining chairs, gone, vanished, like they had joined a witness protection program. "Andrew, where are the chairs?" I asked, half hoping he'd say they were out getting reupholstered or something equally ridiculous. His response? Dad needed a top-up for my brother's dowry." A top-up? He sold our dining chairs to help pay dowry? I stared at him, stunned. I mean, what was next? Selling the fridge to fund a goat ceremony? That was it for me. I packed my things that night. I had done everything I could, cleared debts, kept us afloat, endured endless drama, but I wasn't going to let his family drag me into their bottomless pit of problems. As I walked out the door, Andrew begged, "Don't leave, I'll fix it." But I knew better. Some messes are just too big to clean up. Then came the twist. After I left, Andrew's world crumbled like a badly stacked Jenga tower. He started selling everything. Our cozy couch, the TV, even the curtains his family swore were evidence of my greed. One by one, the pieces of our home disappeared until he was left with just a bed and a gas cylinder in a cramped single room. It was survival mode, and it wasn't pretty. And then reality slapped his family in the face. With no money flowing their way, they finally pieced it together. She was keeping him afloat, Liz admitted during one of their pity parties. It must have been hard for her to choke on those words. Soon enough, they called me. Oh yes, they called. Apologies flew like confetti at a wedding. "We didn't know you were the one holding him together," they cried. Please forgive us. Come back. But by then, I was sipping tea in my new place, where the only drama was deciding what color to paint the walls. I'd rebuilt my life. No guilt trips, no Shylocks, no dining chairs mysteriously disappearing. Their pleas, too little, too late. I wasn't about to dive back into their chaos. Andrew's mess was no longer my burden to carry. Now to the lesson. Andrew? He's still in that single room, trying to climb out of the hole his family dug for him. I hope he makes it. But me? I'm thriving. And if there's one thing I learned, it's this. Love isn't enough when the weight of the world is on one person's shoulders and their family is holding the anchor. So, would you have stayed, or was I right to walk away? If you have a story that you want told so others can learn from, please share it with us. Thank you for watching and listening to this story. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.